fun. That's the way to learn Chinese. Chinese pot, Chinese pot.
Hello everybody, welcome to Chinese Pod. I'm Joy.
And I'm Joe.
Today we're going to go through the character mind map for the Chinese word mian. And as you see, this is the simplified character. There are two different meanings. One means face or side, like literal face or the side. And the other one means noodles.
So you may wonder, like, how is this, like, why is it face and side and something and noodles? How does this go together? So as Joy just mentioned, this has like to do with the traditional and the simplified versions of characters, because when you look at the traditional versions of this mian character, there are actually two words for this. And the one is mian for noodles, and the other one is mian for face and side. And in simplified, though, they both look the same. So that's why you have these different meanings. And we will talk about all of these meanings right now.
Okay, so the very first word we'll talk about with the word mian is very common, and that is 见面.
Which means to meet, right?
Exactly.
So this is two forced tones. 见面.
Exactly.
And it means to meet. So we could make a sentence like, I'm meeting my friend in a certain place.
Oh, 我和我的朋友在咖啡厅见面.
Oh, like I and my friend are meeting in a cafe place, a cafe or a coffee place.
Okay, so let me go through the literal meaning of the words 见面. Now, 见 means to see, and 面 is face. So to see your face means face to face. So 见面 means to meet.
So 面 here is at the end of the phrase or the word, but it can of course come in the front as well. For example, we have another common word that is especially important for those of you who want to apply for jobs in China or something, which is interview, 面试.
Exactly. 面试. Now, the word 面 again is face, and 试 is 考试, the second word of the word for test. So it's like a face-to-face test, an interview. Makes sense, right? All right, so I'm going to give you a sentence about interviews and being very nervous. 我星期一要面试了，好紧张呀.
So your interview is on Monday.
Yes, and I'm very nervous. So that's 面试.
You'll be perfectly fine.
Oh, thank you for the confidence. Oh, speaking of 面试, I have another word in mind that's very common in the Chinese culture.
Okay.
And this translation in English is when someone says they want to save face. That concept is, I want to save face, so that means I want to not look bad in front of other people or in public. That comes from the word face in Chinese, 面子.
Oh, that's literally just face, right?
Actually, 面子, when we say that, it is save face, but it's kind of like my reputation.
Okay. So like the face represents the overall reputation you have in the community, or okay.
Yeah.
I think you use that together with like, sometimes I heard this together with like give, to give.
Hey, that's an awesome name. Hope you got that trademarked.
Well, I tried, but it got refused.
And did you fight it? Man, you can't put all this money into your brand without knowing that your brand is protected.
Well, the trademark office refused it. So what can I do?
Actually, you can do a lot about this. The attorneys at trademarkers.com are dealing with refusals all the time, and in many cases can salvage your trademark by adding disclaimers or arguing against objections from the trademark office. And did you know that if there are other earlier trademarks that pose an obstacle to your registration, there are ways to require them to actually prove actual use and have them cancelled if they are not being used? Just contact the professionals at trademarkers.com. With a network of attorneys in more than 60 countries, we make sure your brand is protected. Trademarkers.com.
Face to somebody, or
To
to
give face.
reputation.
Oh, yeah. Okay. If I say, 你真不给我面子.
Oh, so you're really not giving me any face here.
Yeah, means maybe you did something that embarrasses me in public. So it's an indirect way of saying, you are not giving me face, you're not respecting me. 你真不给我面子.
And actually, did you know that the English expression of losing face comes exactly from this Chinese concept of face, reputation, face?
Yeah, and so we know that the face of something or appearance is quite an important concept in Chinese culture.
So 面 originally means face or surface, but if we use it together in Chinese with like directional words, then it can mean something like the side of something. For example, if I say like the front side of something, how would I say this?
Oh, in front of, that would be 前面. So 前 means before, 面 is face. So your before face is in front of. For example, I could say 小心前面有车.
Like, be careful, there is a car in the front. And here, like, in the front of what?
It would be a hidden subject, like in front of you.
In front of you. So these are actually used, like, mostly in a prepositional kind of way. So where in front of you? 前面.
Exactly. So the next one we have is behind, which would be 后面. Again, 面 is face, so 后 is behind. So our behind face, 后面. 就你后面有人.
哪儿?
Just kidding.
Okay.
Not a phantom person. Okay, what other sides do we have?
We have inside and outside in English.
Oh, okay. Inside is 里面. 里 is the word for in, and 面 again face. So I can say 我在里面等你.
Oh, so you're waiting for your friend inside or something.
Yeah, so if you're on the phone or something and you can respond that way. And you can also use, it doesn't have to be a person, it could be a thing. Okay, all right.
And outside we had
Outside, 外面,
外面.
fourth tone. So 外 is out, 面. So I can say, oh, you know, Chinese people carry umbrellas everywhere. This is not
yeah.
common in all Western cultures.
Yeah, we like in Germany we, unless I know, of course, it's pouring, but I normally wouldn't take an umbrella.
Yeah, I saw the same thing in France. But Chinese people love umbrellas because we need them for the rain and not only that, for the sun.
Okay.
So most people are carrying their umbrellas, but if they're always wet, we have to say 请把伞放在外面.
Oh, like please leave your umbrella outside.
Yeah, usually there's an umbrella holder. Okay, so we have the different sides. That's front, back, inside, outside.
Can we shortly practice this one more time? Like, what was front was
前面.
oh, 前面.
Good. 2 and 4. And then back was
后面.
exactly fourth tone. 后面. And inside
里面.
里面. And outside
外面.
外面. Okay, so I have a question for you. How can I make you say that I'm in your heart?
你在我的心里面.
Oh, one more time.
你在我的心里面.
Oh, I got him to say it. 我在旧的心里面.
You are in my heart. So besides these, we also have the opposite side of something, which would be 对面. So two fourth tones together. 对面.
Oh, okay. So 对 actually here means across from, and then 面 face. So 对面, the across face or across from. Now, there is actually a Chinese song that's very famous, and I'll tell you the name.
Okay.
It's called 对面的女孩看过来.
The girl on the other side, like, watched over to me.
Yeah, so the song is about this man who's singing it, right? So he's like, look at me, from the left,
then
from the
finally-
right. Yeah.
The girl on the other side. 对面的女孩.
看过来, and he's wondering about her. Okay, so for all of these preposition type phrases, the way that we can use them is we have 前面, 后面, 外面, 里面, 对面, and we add the word 有, and then we can add an object after that. For example, before we mentioned 前面有车, so in front of there is and then object. So 有 acts as the verb. there is. And we can use that with many different objects, and you can practice different relationships, different objects. And we can put, for objects, it could be people, it could be things. So you mentioned 对面. Now I'm going to flip this word around, which becomes
面对.
yeah. So that word is to face, the verb. So kind of a similar meaning to 对面, right?
Yeah, it's like the concept still stays the same. Like you have something like on the opposite side of your face. But here, like 对面 is like more the prepositional use, like in front of something, and 面对 is to face something, like to face a challenge or a problem, maybe in English. How would we say this? To face a problem.
So you can say 我们一起面对问题吧.
Okay, like to face a problem. Let's together face this problem. As we told you in the beginning, 面 can mean noodles as well. And since noodles are mostly made of flour, actually the meaning here can be wheat or flour for the word 面.
Ah, exactly. So I'm going to first give you the word for flour. That's 面粉.
Hi, my name is Lucy Henderson, and I wanted to tell you about some of the changes that we are making to our podcasts. So, in the past, we maintained one podcast in which we have been publishing all our episodes across all proficiency levels. But we listened to a lot of feedback, and you were telling us that it is not really beneficial for a beginner to have advanced level podcasts in the mix. And likewise, intermediate and advanced learners do not really benefit from beginner lessons. Therefore, this August, we will split our feeds into separate feeds: Chinese Pod Newbie, Chinese Pod Beginners, Chinese Pod Intermediate, and a Chinese Pod Advanced, which will be in Chinese only with no English. So, why am I telling you that? It is because if you are subscribed to this feed, you will suddenly see podcasts ending. And that won't be because Chinese Pod is no longer publishing those, but because you need to pick your specific feed. And for any more information, or if you have any feedback on our podcasts, we welcome you to visit ChinesePod.com/podcasts.
面粉. So it kind of sounds like noodles powder, because 粉 is powder, and we know flour is a powder. So anything that's made of flour, we might see the word 面. For example, noodles would be 面条.
So like a string of flour thingies.
Yeah, 条 is like a strip. So this is a noodle strip. 面条. So I can say, 你喜欢吃软一点还是硬一点的面条?
软一点的. I like it a little bit overcooked actually.
Overcooked?
Yeah. Like in terms of Italian definition, it would be overcooked probably.
Okay, so another type of noodles that I admittedly had too much of when I was studying because I was lazy, but it's so convenient, and that's why we call it 方便面.
方便面.
Yeah, literally convenient noodles.
We have convenient in like convenience stores as well, right?
Ah, so the word for that is 便利店. So it's a different one, but the meaning is very similar to 方便. So instant noodles, we call it 方便面because it's very convenient and you can have it in like 3 minutes.
So let's say convenient noodles are very convenient.
Okay, so that goes 方便面很方便，只要5分钟就能吃了。Convenient noodles are very convenient. In only 5 minutes, you're gonna be able to eat them. Okay, what is another type of 面 that you have in your mind that we can use?
Japanese noodles. 拉面.
拉面. And I think it just originates from Japanese, but 拉 is to pull. So 拉面. So I can say 我喜欢吃日式拉面.
Oh, you like to eat Japanese style ramen.
Yeah, Japanese style, Japanese noodles. Yeah, exactly. And I have another word for 面 that is not a type of noodle, but it's also made with wheat or flour. That's 面包,
面包,
面包.
which is a bread or bread roll.
And of course, when we talk about Europe, we must mention 法国面包.
French bread.
Yes, the French baguette. We call it 法国面包.
Actually, our German bread is very good as well.
Yes, I did also hear. Do we call them baguettes as well?
No. But you could still say like German bread.
German bread. So do you think the German bread is better than the French kind?
Can I say that?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Oh, 所以德国面包比法国面包好吃 according to Joe.
According to me. But we can practice the other way around as well. Just
法国面包比德国面包好吃. Now, when I use 比 here, it's compared to the verb, or in comparison with. So you can put different things in front of and behind it.
in today's character mind map, we talked about words that are all related to the one word 面. And the first definition we had of 面 is the face. And here we had, for example, the verb to meet somebody.
见面.
And then we talked more about the face, surface, or the side of something, and we used some prepositions here. We had, for example, the opposite side.
对面.
And then finally we talked about things that are done with wheat and noodles. And here, for example, we had ramen.
Oh, 拉面. So what are your favorite types of noodles? If you have any questions or comments or other words with 面, leave them down below. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Joy.
And I'm Joe.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
As usual, ChinesePod provides an extensive selection of learning materials for this lesson on its website, www.chinesepod.com. You can access this lesson directly with the lesson number 4303. So just go to www.chinesepod.com/4303 and you will find a transcript, vocabulary, and much more. The link again, www.chinesepod.com/4303.
Chinese Pod, Chinese Pod.